The way I define feminism in a simple term is a love of women, not a hatred of men. So, you know, defining feminism from that vantage point of trying to protect and love women, you know, sex workers hold a lot of the pain of women. And as soon as we start to, you know, respect their needs and really hit at that underbelly of what it is to be a woman, it will empower all of us as women to be able to find our true sexual identity, the, you know, the sexual rights that we want, all of that, you know.
When I was in East Berlin in 2007, right along that divide where the wall used to be is where the hot strip is. It's like Vegas Strip or Sunset Strip. And every 20 feet, there's a prostitute. Every 20 feet. And you know, because they all have white fanny packs. That's how you know she's a prostitute. Plus, she's super hot standing there every 20 feet. And it's such an accepted part of the culture. There is no shaming her. And then you'll see, on occasion, you'll see some dumbass, usually an American, walk up speaking in English, and this is Germany, trying to say ridiculous shit to her, and she's just so unimpressed, so unfazed by it, because it's not part of their culture to shame that. And it's not illegal. Right. And there's really no problem with it as a society, unlike America, where you're basically, you know, oh, you're a prostitute, you must be a crack whore. You know, like that's kind of where we go.
Right.
You know,
true.
You're a criminal. In our,
and we think that they're being belittled, but you have to think about it. There's jobs out there that we might regard as more belittling, like maybe scrubbing dirty toilets. You know. And not to belittle the janitors out there who are getting an honest wage, but you know, there are jobs out there, you know, there's sex workers out there that like what they are doing. They're making a good living, and there's certainly jobs that if you ask that sex worker, she would rather do that than these other jobs that do not allow her to support her family, do not allow her to do what she wants to do. You know, we jump to these conclusions about the job that, again, we need to talk to, you know, sex workers before we make these assumptions, and that just very rarely happens.
One of the confusing dichotomies that I see, even among liberals, even among BDSM people and all that, is this need to draw the line between burlesque and pole dancing, between burlesque and stripping, and somehow lessening one and belittling, you know, oh, she's a porn performer, I'm burlesque. You know, I'm a pole dancer, she's a prostitute. And having to draw this line where I'm not that, those people are below me.
Oh.
It's not feminism to me. You know, it's just judgment to me.
For some reason, when you said that, my mind kind of went to a tangential place, so bear with me.
Go ahead.
I could be very tangential. All I know is for a lot of women, even if you haven't been sexually abused, again, a lot of times by the time we're 20, we have our baggage, right, about, you know, being slut-shamed or whatever. Yeah. And I've heard a lot of women who became, like, say, you know, erotic dancers, strippers, etc., where, or burlesque, you pick any of the things that you just listed, and that is part of their pathway to sexual empowerment. That is that's their pathway towards, you know, really owning who they are sexually. And gosh, when we look at it from that vantage point, it becomes a lot prettier, doesn't it? Rather than sitting there going, you're above me, you know, I'm above you, or doing this whole hierarchy thing, and instead looking at it as this is your journey, this is where you're going, and maybe you just like to do it, but maybe it's also a path that's really helping you feel empowered sexually as a woman.